So here in Tennessee, we get a lot of wind, and we don't typically get the kind of wind you get out west, which is high straight line winds. But we do get a lot of winds in changing directions, and the last day and a half, we got a lot of wind. And needless to say, it's been an eventful day and a half, and that's just part of it. In our area, we have people that have lost part of their roof, trees, shingles off of their roof. We've had people lose play sets, trampolines, all sorts of things, buildings, carports. I actually had a toolbox blow into my backyard. No idea where that came from. We lost a part of our children's swing set, and last time it stormed, we almost lost the trampoline. This time, even though it's shielded by the house, swing set turned over. Hopefully I can salvage some of it. One of our neighbors lost a several hundred-year-old oak tree. I watched that break out of the top of it. I lost my cherry blossom tree out of the backyard, and that kind of sucked. Despite all that, I'm a person that tries to find some positives out of any of the negatives. And the positive is we're all okay, and we didn't suffer any significant damage on anything. Our house made it through okay. We didn't seem to take any roof damage, which is a blessing. We were hitting sustained 75-mile-an-hour winds yesterday. And I tell you, I don't know that I've seen straight line winds sustained like that for, it was about 10 to 12 hours yesterday. It was pretty crazy. And every once in a while, when the weather would chill a little bit and the wind would calm down, I'd come out and try to assess and see what all was going on. And I found that I actually lost quite a few trees back in here. But the real shame is that I lost this eastern red cedar. At least this is part of it. But again, finding the silver lining in it, I may have gotten some fence posts out of it, because I think I've got a good bit of that tree that is straight enough that I can replace some of these fence posts down through here. And while it may not be the best, I mean, it is free. The loss of this is probably the biggest shame. We had a few trees come down across the road over here. One that still hasn't fallen yet. And apparently some people think that it is perfectly acceptable to just tear up somebody else's yard and somebody else's fields just to get around a downed tree. And it's one thing to creep through a ditch, which they could have done, but it's another thing to completely trench out somebody's yard. And they were inches from hitting my water meter. So some of the silver lining being that I should be able to get some fence posts out of that tree. The other silver lining is that I met the man that used to own this property, and not the one I bought it from, but the one that originally owned all of the property here. So random fun fact, after I spoke to him, my house used to be sitting on a potato patch. And aside from just learning from him and talking to him and getting to know him, which was pretty awesome, I love getting to know my neighbors, it was actually really neat to learn a little bit of the history about the property, you know, where it was, who owned it, what it was used for. So I'm not the first person to try and raise pigs here. What's up, ladies? They all survived the wind. It was a pretty rough day for them, but I decided not to leave them locked up in the coops. Even though I was feeling pretty confident about it, I felt like giving them a chance to flee if they needed to flee would be better. But that didn't end up being an issue. Our coops stood the wind really well. No damage to anything. Well, hello there, Twinkle. How we doing, buddy? Coming to say hi? Likes those chin rubs. The nice thing is these coops have a low wind profile. and the direction we were getting it was hitting them in the side, kind of at an angle. So fortunately it didn't lose anything off the coops. They actually spent most of their day hanging out over in here, which was good. That's what I was actually hoping for. Let's go see how our pigs did though. They've been out here working the ground, making a mess. Well, that's okay, we were expecting that. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Oh, you cooling off in the mud? I actually have come to like this 2-run with these temporary posts, because I was able to actually get that moved easily and push them into a new spot without having to actually take up the whole fence. Just moving the fence posts a few at a time. What do you want, Mr. T? You're being awful noisy. Now the real test yesterday was in fact if our pig shelter was going to fly away, and as you can see it didn't, fortunately. Now we did have it turned, so that the wind wouldn't pick up the front, but it did its job. It stayed put. It was heavy enough to keep from blowing away, light enough for me to still drag it around. So far I've been way more pleased with this than I could have expected. There's a way chickens will find it. What are you girls doing in there? That's not for you? I haven't seen that in a long time. It's a little localized little wind duster. I think out Midwest it's called a dust devil, but we don't have a lot of dust. How cool is that? I haven't seen that in years. Anyways, that's all I really had. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update. We survived all the crazy wind. We didn't sustain too much damage. Some of my fence is leaning a little bit over here still, but honestly that's probably just because of some washout and it really needs some more dirt. So I gotta find some dirt somewhere, put in that, and I'll probably spend the rest of the day just cleaning up and just being thankful that it wasn't worse. But in the meantime, have a good day and thanks for watching.